Hello, woodland friends. I hope everyone is doing well these days. We miss seeing you every day. I am here today to do music with you. Now, sometimes when Miss Karen does music, she'll bring a special instrument for you to see, to hear, and sometimes even to play. And I know that is so fun for all of us to experiment and experience the different instruments. Today I have a couple of instruments for you. The instruments I am going to show you today are all stringed instruments. That means that they have strings on them and you use your fingers to pluck the string. Now some stringed instruments you can play differently, like with a bow, as in using it with the violin or a cello. But today, I'm just going to stick with a couple instruments that you can pluck with your fingers. The first instrument I would like to show you is called a dulcimer. It's a really long instrument. See how long it is? See that? Very long. You play this instrument while it's laying on your lap. And I'm going to play it just so you can hear how it sounds. You guys ready to listen? Put your listening ears on. It's a lot of fun to play. Can you still hear it? That's called a dulcimer. I have another instrument for you to listen to. Some of you may know this instrument. It looks like a really tiny baby guitar, doesn't it? So little. This is called a ukulele. Do you see the strings on there? Just like the dulcimer had strings, didn't it? Yeah. Let's put our listening ears on again. Sounds fun. This is called a ukulele. I have two more instruments for you to hear. Now, some of you may be very familiar with these instruments, and some of you may not know anything about them. This is called a guitar. This is an acoustic guitar. This also has strings too. And then behind me, we have another type of guitar. This is an electric guitar. This guitar also has strings, but these strings are a little different. And it sounds a little different too. Let's listen. This is an electric guitar. A lot of the times when you see people play these, they'll be plugged into an amp or a speaker, and that can make it sound really loud and very different. the electric guitar sound different than the acoustic guitar? I want to play the acoustic guitar one more time for you so that you can hear. Do you hear the difference? I do too. All of these instruments sounded very different, but they have a couple things in common. They all have strings, they all have this little thing, it's called a bridge, and that holds the strings up off of the guitar. And they also have these little knobs. Do you see them? These are for tuning. You tune the strings with them. Every single instrument I played for you has those three things on it. I'll show you the dulcimer now. Do you see the tuners on there? I do too. There's only 4 on this one though. And see the bridge right here? That pulls the strings up off of the instrument. Yeah. So, today what we're going to do is, if you don't have instruments like this at your house to play, which many people don't, we can make our own. So, I am going to show you a way to make a very simple and easy instrument that you can play and experiment with. All you'll need is a book, a couple rubber bands. I have 3 rubber bands. A pen or a pencil. And if you have any little bread ties, you can use these. And if you have any of these, you can use some of these too. It's fun to experiment. And it's fun to make your own and see what kind of sounds you can make. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our book and we're going to wrap the rubber bands around our book. One, two, and 3. Now I'm going to push my rubber bands a little bit closer together so that my pen can fit under them. Okay. And what we're going to do is, once you have your rubber bands on there, take your pen and slide it underneath the rubber bands. The strings on our ukulele or a guitar or a dulcimer kind of look like these rubber bands, don't they? And the bridge kind of looks like the pen, doesn't it? Now, let's listen. When you move your pen up and down, you slide it up and down, it can make different sounds. Listen. Do you hear the difference? What if I scooch it all the way up here? Let's listen. Let me scooch it back down here. They sound different, don't they? Another thing that you can do, and this is something that my daughter, she was experimenting and she saw that this works as a tuner. It's just a bread tie. That's all it is. You can put it in your rubber band, just like so. See it's in there? I'm going to turn it so it doesn't fall out. And then, just like the little tuners on a guitar, do you see them behind me? The guitars behind me? You see those little knobs, the tuners? If you take your bread tie and twist it while you play, do you hear the difference that it makes? That's what the tuners do. So that is a very easy way to make a very small instrument, but something fun to play with.